Hello all, welcome to oratrainings.com. In this session, we'll discuss about one of the very important developer component in Oracle Apex. It is called SQL Workshop. Okay, let's get into agenda. So we'll try to understand what is SQL Workshop and the 5 subcomponents in the SQL Workshop, nothing but object browser, SQL commands, SQL scripts, utilities, as well as RESTful services. What is SQL Workshop? SQL Workshop allows us to create, view, as well as maintain your database object, right? So in the SQL Workshop, we have the set of subcomponents which allows us to manage all these particular above database functionality. Okay, so once you click on SQL Workshop, it provides these particular file links, like these set of file links, and using which we can perform the respective functionality. Let us start with the object browser. Object browser enables us to browse the existing database component, and it also allows us to create as well as modify the database object. Okay, so these are the list of object types which are supported in the Apex, and you can just select your particular object, and once you click on search, it provides a result in the right side one. So the left side is a search criteria, right side is a result criteria. Okay, let's get into the next one. Next one is a SQL command. So in this particular SQL commands, what we can do is we can write any of our SQL as well as PL SQL statement. We can save our particular SQL or PL SQL query. And also the file name, whatever we mentioned, that should be unique in the workspace. And also one important thing is there is no link between the SQL commands file as well as SQL scripts file. In both cases, we can create a file as well as save it. Nothing but I'm talking about the script file, the database script file. Okay. Now coming to the next one, SQL scripts. So the SQL script, what we can do is we can create a script, we can import a script, we can export a script also. But what is the script is all about? This particular SQL script, generally we use it for the purpose of installation of your database object, or maybe uploading of a set of data, right? And those purposes generally use the SQL scripts. Okay. Now coming to the next one, utilities. It has a larger number of database utilities which allows us, which reduces, our effort in writing the scripts manually. And not only that, it maintains the database set of, it allows us to, you'll have a template kind of information, like a standardization of your particular database, your particular files. And the first example I can tell you is about like a data workshop, using which you can load as well as unload the data. And next one is like a generation of DDL statement. And other important thing is the methods on the tables. Like you just have it, you mention a table, it will automatically generate a PL SQL API for us, and we can simply add up our business logic to that. We doesn't need to write each and every statement again. You just add up your particular business functionality in that. That is all about utilities. Not only that, we have many other utilities, but we are not discussing deeper here. In the next coming session, we'll be having a detailed information on each and every particular component. Next one is RESTful services. So using RESTful services, what we can do is on a database object, we can enable a REST functionality. Nothing but like you can generate a REST API for your database object, using which we can extract the data. It is only for the purpose of extraction. In this particular window, whatever you select here, it generates a RESTful URI, and it allows only GET functionality. Okay, but we have another place where you can mention all DML operations also. We'll see that in the next slide. But in this slide, once you navigate to the object browser, you select your table and you can click on REST, and it provides set of options for us. Like you need to enable REST object, and you can mention the authorization whether you want it or not. And once you click on save, it will generate a RESTful URI. Using this URI, we can extract the data. Coming to the next one, RESTful services dashboard. So here, if you observe, there are two important parts. One is enabled objects, and the other one is modules. Okay, so in the enabled object, it just simply provides a list of enabled objects for which a REST is enabled. Next one is a modules. By default here, if you observe, or maybe like while installation of your particular Apex, or maybe while subscribe to your Apex, you may have a example by default which Oracle provides for us to understand what is the format we have to follow. It is kind of standardization. You can follow anything, but it is one of the best practice to follow. And it provides you what is the way you can create a REST API for your particular database or particular query. I mean to say, like you have a query and you can generate a REST API for your query. And also you can mention a DML operations in a particular respective table. So you can perform all the DML operation. You need to have the appropriate task, and you can just mention the way you want to design the functionality, right? Like you can have a get, put, post, and delete in the REST API. Now coming to the next one. So what we do is we'll try to navigate to the Apex website and try to just perform some of the basic functionalities. Okay. So let me navigate to SQL Workshop. So in the SQL Workshop, these are the 5 utilities which we're talking about. Okay. Now we'll start with Object Browser. Click on Object Browser. Now, so here if you observe, let us say we'll try to search any of the table. Like I'll just mention EMP, and it provided these results. I click on the table. Now it provides a set of functionalities for us, like you can modify, add, rename, drop, and all these things. And in the data, it provides the data from the table. And the other one is like a SQL. In the SQL, it provides the DDL script of the table. And the REST, when you click on REST, it provides the option for us, like if at all, if you want to enable database, if you want to REST enable the object, you can need to click on yes. Let us say if you click on no and just click on apply, see what happens. Right? So now the URL is no more available, but let us say if you want to enable the REST API for this, just click on yes and click on apply. And now the URL will get generated. RESTful URL will get generated. Okay. Now coming to the next one, SQL commands. So in the SQL commands, you can write either SQL or PL SQL statement, let us say, and you can just mention the query and press Control Enter. It will provide you a result. And if at all, if you want to describe a database object, you can mention DSC EMP Control Enter. Okay, it provides a resultant. Now, and you can save the script. Let us say if you want to save the script, you can mention here EMP. I'll just mention EMP DEC script and save. Okay, and here in the saved SQL, it provides a list of SQL scripts which are saved. Okay. Now coming to the next one, SQL scripts. Okay, so here if you observe, right, like it is a little bit different from the other one, SQL commands. Let's start with this creation of that. I just click on create. Okay, and let's say select start from EMP. Okay, now you just need to save it. Okay, sorry, you can run it and you can save it also. Now you can just click on run, and you have to mention the name of the script. Here you can mention the name of the script, EMP data extract version 2, and I'll just click on create. Okay, the script got created, and you can click on run. Okay, run now. It provides the result of here. Okay. And the script got executed, and you can just download the data. Okay, so here if you observe, in the SQL commands, when you execute, it just provides the data. And here if you observe, it provides it just executes and it provides a result saying that like whether the script got executed or not. That's it. So generally we use this for the purpose of uploading the data or uploading the database object. Okay, or extracting some data. In those scenarios we use it. Okay, now coming to the next one, utilities, right? So I'll just click on all utilities, and here if you observe, it provides like a DTL statement generation, or like a table API generation, database monitoring, and you can find out your database information. All these things you can observe from the utilities functionality. Okay, now I'll just navigate to the final one, RESTful services. Okay, just observe this one here. Now you just click on enabled objects. So as of now we have enabled data, like REST API was enabled for these 3 objects. Okay, and like if at all, if you want to access this particular database object, what we can do, I'll just show you the example here now. So now I'll just execute this one. You can see the data from this particular, we can see the data from the EMP table. Okay, let's wait. So it will take, yeah, now it got executed. But if at all, if you want to see the data of only one employee, you just mention EMP / this one, EMP number. You can see the data of only that specific employee. Okay, this is an auto-generated REST API when you just enable REST API for your table. But now let us say it will have only get functionality. But if at all, if you want to have a REST API for your database query, what you can do is you can just mention this, like you need to create module, and using that you can generate it. Now here if you observe the example which Oracle provided by default, can you see? So For the SQL query, select star EMP. We have a get, like a source type is get, source type is query, and method is get. And now using this particular one, now let us say I'll copy this one. And if I try to execute this one, you can get all the data from this particular EMP table. Okay, this is Oracle provided. Sorry, this is an example which Oracle provided in the module functionality. And not only that, if you try to observe this one, right, employee/:ID. So nothing but you can mention the EMP number using this, using which you can get the data, right? Okay, let me try again. I think it got. Okay. So you can try using Postman if that is not working from the browser. Okay. Okay, now can you see? We got all the data. You can try JSON. Just try pretty or raw. Okay, raw should be fine. It is CSV format. Yeah, that's the reason, right? Now, if the JSON format, it would have been different. Let us, I'll try to get the data in the JSON format and just try how it works. Okay. I'll click on pretty. Yeah, this is how the JSON format looks like. Now, we just see the put functionality, right? So now in the put one, what exactly we are doing is, let's say we are trying to update the data. Okay. So based on the SQL query, we have generated the REST API. So the third party user can simply use the REST API. And when they call your particular REST API and performs the execution of this, and this particular database statement will get executed. Okay. What exactly it is doing? It is just updating this set of fields based on the EMP ID. Based on the EMP ID, it is updating it. Now, what you do is, if you want to create any of the sample, just follow this particular example, whatever the example which Oracle provide, right? So make sure that you need to follow this particular strategy so that you can maintain your particular modules in appropriate way. So that is only, it is standardization. That's the only way. Either way, you can mention any way, but this is one of the good practice. You can follow this. Okay. So these are the set of SQL workshop utilities. We can try to practice that. Try to practice on each and everything, so that you can get more expertise in the respective things. Okay. So this is all about SQL workshop. Thank you.